Hey, what's up, guys? I'm Elijah,
And I'm Tina.
and this is
The
Brooks
Brooks Podcast.
And I know we're extremely late on it, but we're talking about Hurricane Helene and how it hit us and the Asheville area and stuff like that. Mostly focusing on us and how that went. Yeah, because I've never in my life thought we would get hit by a daggum hurricane.
No, especially not where we live.
Like we're used to like thunderstorms and maybe a tornado watch or something, but
yeah,
not
a
hurricane
whole hurricane.
winds.
Like that was wild.
Freaked me out.
Absolutely wild. And we just were not prepared for it by any means.
Because we didn't know it was an option.
Yeah. Well, and also I don't
I don't trust storms now.
Yeah,
I don't even trust the weather service.
Well, because I don't think we even thought it was going to be that bad. Like we knew we were going to get rain, maybe some strong winds. I think we expected, some limbs to be down.
Yeah, but not this.
Not this. Like it was absolutely bonkers.
So I'm just going to kind of run through the day of, because I had to look it up, because I was like, I forgot what day it hit. It hit on a Friday.
Yeah.
So day of, just know, anyone that wasn't in North Carolina, it had rained for like 3 or 4 days prior.
Yeah.
And I mean like heavy rain.
Yeah, we already got some like rainstorms beforehand, before we even got the hurricane like storm system.
Like it was like, I mean, it was pretty like soaking rain for 3 days straight.
Yeah. So, and like just to put it in perspective for you, like where we're located, we're about like 45 minutes to an hour kind of
down below Asheville.
And, like in between us and Asheville was like where all that damage in like Lake Lure and Chimney Rock.
Yeah. Because Lake Lure is about 30 minutes, I think, from us.
If even.
25 to 30.
Yeah. Like, I mean, like, like that's like our backyard kind of, so we were really close to all of that. Luckily where we were, we didn't get a ton of damage. We had a lot of, debris covering roads. A lot of our roads were blocked for a hot minute.
Yeah, which we'll get to that.
Yeah.
Story first. So I will start because you wasn't even awake.
No, I wasn't. I was.
Because we talked about in the previous episode, you being oblivious.
Yeah.
This was oblivious.
Listen, I was a tired girl. Because I'm pretty sure that was my turnover. I was supposed to go into work on third shift that night.
Because you had just got off third shift and then stayed up.
Yeah, so I had stayed up all night the night before, so I would sleep all day. And so it's like, I don't know, probably like 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning.
Hang on.
I was gonna get to you calling me to wake me up.
I'm starting before that.
Okay, well, start before that then.
See, this is your proof. We don't plan this stuff.
No, we don't. This is
I write down bullet points. That's it. This is raw.
No, well, especially because this one wasn't like a research episode. This one is just like our experience.
This is just us and the ADHD and the TISM.
Uh-huh.
But anyway, so start. I went to work because we thought, because they said thunderstorm, because we always get a storm typically off of the hurricane. That's normal for us.
Yeah. Well, because the bad stuff wasn't supposed to hit until like 3 or 4 that afternoon, right?
We thought.
But
it was supposed to be later in the day. So I get into work. I go in. I have to clock in at 6. So me and my neighbor, I ride with my neighbor. He's just across the street. We go in at 5:30 in the morning. So we was already at work at 6, clocked in, running like normal. I heard rain. Big whoop. That's what I thought. Well, about probably 7 o'clock. Yeah, about 7 o'clock, I see the lights start to flicker in the plant. I'm like, okay, that's not looking good. And I deal with CNC machines. Well, it's kind of a CNC, but it's technically a hone. So bores the valve, stick goes in the valve. If the stick stops, it's really aggravating to get it out, and you can risk breaking a knuckle. So I was like, okay, stop the machines. Told my other guy that I work with, stop the machine, pull it out, bring it back. Let's wait until the power's done, flicker, and make sure we're good. I was like, we'll hold off for 10 minutes. Let my boss know. Well, we pulled the machines back. 2 minutes, power gone. Because our plant has to run off 3-phase power because we got enough machinery. We lost our third leg. Third leg. Anyway, so lost our third leg of power. That was like, okay, everyone just go into the break room because that just runs on 2-phase. I was like, okay, cool. So rest of the plant, we all get in the break room. We're hanging around. And then I start seeing the wind whipping because we're in warehouse plant.
Yeah.
I don't have windows until I went to the break room and seen the wind whipping and everything. I was like, oh, wow, okay. Well, my neighbor was like, hey, can you call your wife? Because my wife's not answering. My stepdaughter's not answering. Like, no one's answering their phone. Can you ask your wife to look outside her window, make sure the house is still there? Because, literally, you can get up from our bed, open the curtain, you see their trailer.
Yeah. Like
We're in
literally
a trailer park.
almost directly across the street.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. But, so I called Tina, and I guess that probably was about 7:30.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and I can tell she was still asleep, never woke up.
Yeah. Because I'd probably gone to sleep about, 3 or 4 in the morning?
Probably.
Maybe.
She was like, hey, I was like, hey, can you look out the window, make sure our neighbor's trailer's still there, make sure they're still good. She was like, yeah, their trailer's good. I don't see any trees down or anything like that. I was like, okay, cool. Let him know.
I mean, the wind was whipping. I mean, like, our tree that's in our front yard, like, you could see it, like bowing. Like, the wind was hard. It was crazy.
Yeah. So, we sat there for about 30 minutes till probably about 8 o'clock, I guess. And then they said, hey, guys, we're just going to call it. If you want to stay, you can. If you want to go home, you can. And I was like, Tina's by herself, and that's probably not going to be good if something happens. I was like, and my neighbor was like, hey, I'm going to go ahead and go home too. I was like, all right, let's roll. So we get in the car. And because of the winds and everything, I was like, okay, let's not take the interstate. In hindsight, I'm not entirely sure. We probably could have took the interstate and been better off.
Well, I don't know, because there were trees down on the interstate too.
Yeah, but you could have probably stayed in the left lane and been fine.
Yeah.
I don't know. You would have at least avoided the power lines. But anyway,
that is true.
So we get on the main street of our town. We're going down, and I just see tree.
Mm-hmm.
And then we come to a point, we see a power line down over the road. And I'm like, I can't tell if it's live. So we sat there for a second and looked at it, and then another car came through and drove over it. We was like, okay, it's dead. So we're going through. Actually, even before then, we had a power line that clipped the top of the car.
Yeah.
So that was scary. And then we're riding through. It's like dodging trees, going over power lines. Chaos.
I mean, it looked
like a scene out of Twister.
Yeah, like post-apocalyptic world. Like,
we're in a car, not a truck.
And like also, not to mention that whenever he called me and woke me up, our power was already out.
I didn't know we lost power.
Yeah.
That was a surprise for me when I got home.
Yeah, our power. Well, I think it might have been on, but by the time like you'd gotten home, it had gone out. It wasn't very late into the morning.
Yeah, it was pretty
for
early
our power to go out.
But I was like, okay. But it takes us probably 30 minutes for what is typically a 15-minute drive or 10-minute drive. So we finally get home, and even my neighbor's wife was like, y'all, they can't argue y'all don't love your women. Because I was like, I'm now holding over Tina's head forever. I'm like, I drove through a hurricane for you.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that happens. Get home. I'm like, this wasn't supposed to be the case. And if anyone has ever lived in a single wide trailer, if the wind hits the wide side of the trailer, you feel it.
Uh-huh.
We got lucky in the fact the wind was going a different direction.
Yeah.
Like it was hitting the narrow side somehow.
Yeah. Well, because it was like, I mean, like I was saying, like our tree in our front yard, like our wide side, like the front side is facing our yard, and the tree was going back and forth this way. So we know that the wind was going like parallel to our trailer.
Which is actually a direction the wind doesn't normally go.
Yeah. Normally it's like whipping
normally
it
it's hitting
this
the
way.
broadside.
Yeah.
This time, for some reason, it hit the narrow side this time, which was honestly fine by me because then I didn't feel the trailer move and think we was going to die.
Well, but also I think it was really lucky for all of us in our little neighborhood because most of the trailers are going the direction that the wind was traveling.
And then when they do switch directions, they're down the hill.
Yeah.
So like they at least have the hill to kind of block it a little bit.
Yeah. So because we did have quite a few trees down in our neighborhood that luckily I don't think any of them hit anybody's house.
Yeah. Which, well, there was a few people we knew, but they was like up way up
Yeah.
up the road.
At least not like
our immediate.
Yeah, not on our immediate street.
I got home, got in. Tina's freaking out. The dogs are like, "What the crap?"
Yeah, well, because here's the thing: is that usually whenever I go and let our dogs out, they immediately go outside, and the wind was just so bad. I didn't even know if I wanted to let the dogs outside to begin with, but they were whining by the door, so I'm like, "Well, I guess we'll see what happens." I opened the door up. They see the chaos outside and they go, "Nope." And they run away. So I was like, yep, okay. So we're staying inside the house.
Yeah. But I get inside. Tina's like, "I don't know what's going on." I'm like, "Me neither, but it's chaos outside. And yeah, just hope we don't die. It's fine."
Yeah. Well, because I didn't think it was supposed to get that bad until...
No one knew it was supposed to get that bad.
Yeah. Well, because
they said storm. We was like, okay, normal thunderstorm. We didn't think full-on hurricane.
Well, because that's the thing is because...
Which I don't watch the news either.
What we were getting at that moment was what I thought the worst of it was going to be that afternoon. But, oh boy, were we sadly mistaken, because not long after you had gotten home, we were getting all these Facebook notifications about the Lake Lure Dam collapsing because it was already full, like already overflowing from all the rain that we had gotten. And then it just couldn't hold it anymore. It couldn't hold up. So it just collapsed and, I mean, completely flooded Lake Lure. We were getting notifications. I mean, I want to say it was by like noon, 1 o'clock, that Chimney Rock was like gone.
Basically,
like, I mean, it was absolutely surreal to think that the chaos that I woke up to wasn't even like a fraction of how bad it was going to get.
Yeah.
And like, that was what I thought it was going to be, like the worst of it. So like, I didn't even get to go to work that night. I ended up staying home because our plant completely lost power as well. I ended up staying home that day. I went in the next night, which we'll get to because it was kind of hilarious. But, yeah, no, I mean, I was just kind of freaking out because, I mean, we live in a single wide trailer, which, you know, whenever it comes to bad weather,
not the best.
Not the best.
At all.
Trailers do not have a good track record whenever it comes to strong winds. So I was already really nervous about it. And then that's the thing is like the weather had already like been so far gone. There was no way like to get somewhere safer. So It was basically one of those things where we were just kind of hunkering down. And
I was like, worst case scenario, there's woods back there, and I know there's a ditch. We can go in it.
Yeah, that was kind of our plan. Is like we're just gonna take the dogs and run into like
I think at the time
ditch.
I literally had like the leashes, collars, and everything laid out, and had their shock collars off.
Yeah,
I was like, if we need to run, I can hook and go.
Yeah, like
I will carry Charlie.
We were ready to run.
Which Charlie I would literally have to carry because he's not very good on a leash yet.
Oh yeah, no, he'd be freaking out the whole time.
But honestly, we'd probably just let Cortana go and follow her.
Yeah.
She's smarter than both of us at this point.
Honestly, that's the smartest dog I ever met in my life.
Well, she's a husky. She better be.
Yeah.
And a Great Pyrenees. But anyway, so I got in, was like, well, nothing to do. Let's take a nap.
Yeah, so we just kind of laid there in the dark. I remember, like, while we still had a little bit of signal, we were watching Netflix on your iPad.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that.
Then it eventually got to the point where we had zero Wi-Fi.
Well, I mean, cell phone signal.
Yeah. No.
But, yeah, like nothing.
No signal at all. That's where I learned that I am way too addicted to my phone, because I cannot tell you how many times I went to open up Facebook. Because like for the first little bit, Facebook was working really good, which I'm really thankful for, because we were getting a lot of updates through Facebook about what was going on with the weather.
Everyone was.
Huh?
Well, everyone was. So.
Yeah. I mean, that's how we knew anything, because at that point we had realized that what we were seeing on the radar was changing so rapidly that there was no way to, like, we couldn't trust the information we were getting from our weather apps, basically.
Nope.
Because what they had been telling us, like, leading up to this was not anything that happened. So we were just going off of, like, from where the storm was coming from, based on, like, where we were, and, like, they were saying that it had gotten so bad. That's where we were getting updates about the Asheville area, about Chimney Rock, about Lake Lure, and just, like, other stuff in our area. And it was just crazy because, I mean, whenever all was said and done, I think, only 2% of our area had power.
If that.
And
it was bad.
Whenever
it doesn't help. Our county is heavily wooded.
Yes.
And it rained for 3 days. So like all our trees fell.
Yeah.
Like, half our trees were just like
all
gone.
The trees fell. And I mean, it was just crazy. And because, like, we knew so many people who had a lot of devastation, which luckily for us, like, we just lost some underpinning.
Well,
but
we didn't even lose it. It just broke.
Yeah, it just, was kind of falling everywhere. But
I was like, so I basically just screwed it back to the trailer. Was like, that's fine.
Yep.
It's still there.
Yep. We just did what we could. But, like, luckily our tree didn't fall. Our neighbor, like, he was talking about that he works with, he actually had some kind of, like, sixth sense kind of thing, and he was like, I think I'm gonna pull my car closer than I normally do to my trailer.
Yeah, because I normally park it under this one tree, but that tree did not look healthy, so he actually had pulled it up closer to the trailer.
And which is crazy because that tree did end up falling over, and if he had parked his car where he normally parks it, his car would have been a pancake.
Yep.
I mean, like, directly where the tree fell was where he parked his car.
Yeah. But also we know one of our friends that they normally park their car. They have like 3 cars. Mm-hmm. All park them in a line.
Yep.
Tree fell. Luckily, one of the limbs only actually hit one of the cars. The other 2 that was able to back out.
No, it was 2 of them.
Oh, did it get the Tahoe?
Yeah.
Well, it didn't get the Tahoe that bad then.
Well, no. It didn't get the Tahoe, but it got because it got their Nissan, and it got the police car.
Did the police car get it that bad?
I mean, I don't think it was, like, terrible.
I think it was, like, mostly scratches and stuff.
Yeah.
But, like, it wasn't, like, major totaled or anything.
Yeah, no. But 2 out of
it only actually totaled 1 car.
Yeah, it totaled that 1 car. The other one was really just the police department's problem, honestly.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, so fair to say that it was bad.
Yeah. Oh, and then not to mention we have another set of friends that one of their mom, like, parked her car under a carport awning situation, but a tree fell on the carport and squished the car.
Yep, there was that too.
It was that, yeah. So, and like, I had a coworker who had, like, 6 or 7 trees fall in her yard. 3 of them, like, fell in her house. They were falling in her pool. Crazy stuff.
Yeah, we got very lucky. So, yeah, we got lucky in the grand aspect of it. But so fast forward, after the storm ends up passing, we're like, okay, well, we have no power. Luckily, I always keep like bottles of water, so we was good on that front. But luckily, because we were on city water, we never actually lost water because they just hooked up a generator to the pump house.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, that's cool.
Yeah, we never lost water, but we didn't have any hot water because our heater didn't have power.
Yeah, but in that situation, the last thing I need is hot water.
Yeah, that's also true.
So, but we got hungry, so I was like, I just got a Blackstone. Cool.
Yeah.
So we used our Blackstone to make chicken quesadillas and Mexican rice, I think.
Yeah, we just like, because we made quesadillas like directly on the Blackstone, but then I like got a pan and put it on the grill top, like used it as a heat source.
Hey, it worked.
It worked. It was delicious. It was a great meal, honestly.
Yeah. And at this point, like I hadn't really talked to my parents much other than the fact I made it home safe and whatnot.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay.
Well, because it was like in the midst of that chaos, that's really like all anyone was saying was like, hey, I made it safe. Hey, I'm safe. Like, are you good? Like, I'm still good right now. It wasn't until after the storm had died down, like the next day, after, you know, all was said and done, that people were really starting to like assess their damages and everything. But, I mean, because Lord knows I was not about to get out there and drive in that kind of weather. Like,
No, which I think towards the evening though, we did get out and kind of peruse.
yeah, we did. We ended
Because we
up
got bored.
Yeah, we ended up walking up and down our street and seeing, you know, any kind of damages, which luckily wasn't too bad on our street.
Nah, our street was very minimal, other than like a few branches and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like my neighbor's tree was really the biggest leaf, the biggest one that fell.
Yeah.
So, but so we also it was funny because that I did have we had candles.
Mm-hmm.
So we had that night we had lit some candles, put on each side of the table. You had just got mahjong.
Yeah, I got the it was like the mahjong that you see in those TikTok videos where you like one side is like one set of things and the other side is another set, and then you have to like fill out your side before the other side. I feel like if you don't know what I'm talking about, this is going to sound very confusing, but if you know what I'm talking about. But I got one that's Pokemon, so one side is Pokeballs and the other one is like the actual Pokemon itself. And so you flip over your mahjong tile, and like if it's a Pokeball, you put it on the Pokeball side, and if it's a Pokemon, you put it on the Pokemon side. And like it's really cute, it's fun, no brain powers involved. It's just like a very, you know,
Just chill
kind of game. And you try to fill out your side before the other person. It's really fun.
Yeah. Which also, when you're marrying a person, consider this. Are you willing with that person to suddenly have to learn to be the Amish with no power?
With no power.
with
Yeah.
that person.
Yeah. Well, that was kind of like one of those moments where we were like staring at each other and we were like, well, what do we do now? Like,
It's like, I'm glad we actually like each other.
yeah, for real. Because that was one of the things. I mean, we didn't have a TV just to watch. You know, like we didn't have.
We didn't even have cell phone signal at the time.
Yeah, we didn't have cell phone signal. Like, so there's nothing to like mindlessly watch. Because I mean, like that's normally what we do. I mean, we sit on the couch, we watch some Kitchen Nightmares, we watch some Bar Rescue. Like
Homestead
we love
Rescue.
Homestead Rescue. I mean, like we love watching, you know, reality TV like that. And we just didn't have it. We didn't have it. So it was kind of like looking at each other and we were like, I like your face, I guess. You
Yep.
know, like
That's the best we got.
so like we were really trying to figure out how to communicate as normal human beings without technology. It was very strange.
Yeah, the dogs loved it though, because I just opened the doors and just like, well, we ain't got air conditioning, just open the door.
Oh yeah, because we didn't have air conditioning and it was pretty hot at that point too.
It was mostly just humid.
Yeah, very humid and sticky. Like it felt like I spent a week in Quito, Ecuador one time, and it's was pretty humid there at the time as well. And it was like to the point where even my clothes that were sitting in my suitcase, like didn't even like really touch the air. Okay. I would pull them out and they would be slightly damp because it was so humid. That's what it was like. Like I would pull clothes out of my drawer and it would be slightly damp because it was so humid. And I was like, oh, I hate it. And we were sweaty, we were stinky, and we were having to take like little sink baths because we had shower water, but it was freezing cold.
Yeah.
So, it was a trying time. It was a trying time.
Yeah, but I'll say to a small extent though, I'm like, it wasn't that bad in the grand scheme.
Well, I mean, that's the thing, because even like, we can sit here and complain about everything that we went through, but there were people
that just lost their house.
Lost their house, lost their loved ones, like literally people like posting on Facebook stories of how like they watched their loved ones get washed away, and they were like posting pictures like, have you seen this person? Like, if you see this person, like, please let them know that I'm okay. Let me know that you've seen them, that they're okay. Like, I mean, people had gone missing. And, I mean, it was just total devastation. So it's like we can sit here and complain about, having cold water. But the thing is that we still had a house. I still have my husband.
Dogs were fine.
The dogs were fine. Like we were able to contact his parents. His parents were okay. We went to his parents' house and hung out with them.
Yeah, so that leads into the next day. So the next morning we got up, was like, well, let's go into town, see what we can find.
Yeah.
Which we got up actually pretty early.
Yeah.
I think we was up by 7?
Yeah.
6:30, 7 o'clock.
Yeah, we were up pretty early.
So we went by, seen, because most of that main street didn't have power either. Only like a very small block did. So McDonald's, dear God.
I mean, awful. Line out the road.
And then we found we went by Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A wasn't as bad.
Yeah. Well, so the drive-through line for Chick-fil-A was pretty bad, but one of the workers like had come outside and was like, "Hey, there's actually not a line inside right now if you want to go inside and order your food."
She was like, "Yes, please, park."
Yeah, so we just whipped it in park.
Skirt.
And we went inside. We ran inside and ordered our food.
And we actually ordered enough because I hadn't been to my parents' house yet, so we actually ordered enough for us, my parents, and my grandma.
Yeah, we ordered enough for everybody to have a little chicken sandwich.
Yeah.
A little chicken biscuit.
But it was actually funny because so I was going to go by and check on my grandma. Well, knocked on her door, didn't answer. I was like, maybe she's asleep or something. I don't know. Well, then I can't remember if she called me or I called them. But I called her and she was like, "Yeah, your mom's already got you. We're heading back to the house."
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh, I'll meet y'all there. I was coming by to see everybody." So got all the chicken biscuits loaded up, was heading to my parents' house. And luckily, they actually had a generator.
Yeah.
We did not. But here's what was funny about my parents' house. They're on well water. They didn't have like a generator hookup to the main power of the house. They was just running extension cords. So it was funny because they had a generator for power, but no water. We had no power, but we had water.
Yeah.
So we had gotten together all the gallon jugs we could and hauled water from our house to their house.
Yeah, so it was just like a bunch of like tea jugs and like empty milk jugs.
Yeah, but it was fun. That first day was just real interesting because it was just getting our bearings of, okay, we're okay.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it really was, because it was kind of like, whenever you've never been through something like that before, you're kind of like, okay, what the heck am I doing? What is this? But, we took some water over to her house, so, we were able to, because that's something that I never had to think about before. You have well water, you lose power. You don't have no water.
Unless you have a way to hook it up.
Yeah, so I didn't even think about it. Like, I went to use the bathroom, flush the toilet. There's no water.
Yeah.
And his mom was like, "Oh, yeah, you got to pour some water in there." And I was like, "What?" Like, you don't think about stuff like that.
Yeah, especially because, like, you've always lived in the city, too.
Yeah, so I never had to worry about, like, how am I going to get water to flush my toilet? Like, bonkers.
Yeah, it's because...
But then again, may I reiterate that is a very small problem to have compared to a lot of other people in our community.
Yeah. It was funny because, so we got to my parents' house, got all that we ate our chicken biscuit. Luckily, my parents actually also had a deep freezer up in the building, but they wasn't really using it. And I was like, well, our stuff's about to spoil. I was like, can we just chunk most of our freezer stuff in the deep freezer? They was like, yeah. So we got that, but we also had some chicken that already thawed out. So we literally had, we just brought all of our meat that was thawed and was like, let's see what we can cook. So we all made like a big family meal. And
yeah, which was really nice, actually.
because my parents had propane, so the stove was actually fine. The lighter didn't work for it, but the stove was fine.
Yeah. But that night, I actually ended up going into work. Now, my plant still didn't have power, but they were letting people come in, like, if they wanted to, get the money for it, be on the clock. So I had gone in fully expecting to just, like, shoot the bull all night because it was a third shift.
Yep.
But I want to say around 1 a.m., like 1 in the morning, our power ended up coming back on. And oh boy, was that a doozy. Like, these machines are machines that run 24/7, 365 days of the year, okay? And all of a sudden they lost power. So, like, they're in the middle of cycles and everything. So, like, we turn them all back on, and I mean, they were all jacked up. It was crazy. So that was definitely an experience. And also, like, we only had a skeleton crew there. There was normally, I want to say normally you have, like, at least, like, let me think. To run every machine, you need at least like 14 to 16 people to run all the machines on the floor.
Yeah.
And we had maybe 10. And most of them were on, like, one end. The people who were on my end, there was only 4 or 5 of us that knew how to run the machines on my end of the floor, which there are 8 of. Like, those are the ones, like, you need at least, like, 1 person per machine. Ideally, you want 1 person per machine, and there was only 5 of us. So it was definitely a crazy experience, to say the least. But it was kind of fun. It was just really chaotic. So everyone's kind of like, oh, well, let's just do the best we can. Like, we're just going to vibe with it or whatever.
Makes the night go by faster, too.
Yeah, so, I mean, honestly, it was probably one of the quickest shifts, especially for a night shift.
Well, also, you started late.
Yeah, that's also true. But I don't know. It was just kind of crazy because we didn't even expect the power to be, like, to come back on. But it ended up coming back on. But our power at our house didn't come back on for, like, I mean, what, like a week?
I can't remember because, I ain't gonna lie, after that, everything was a blur.
Yeah. I mean, I want to say it was like 6 or 7 days.
Yeah. Well, it was probably 6 days because I think it came on Thursday.
But
because our church got power.
Our church
Sunday?
got power. No, our church
Monday?
got power that Saturday, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, because I remember they had power, And that's why we were kind of wondering, like, oh, are we going to have church Sunday morning? Because there was power. But, there was obviously still a lot of devastation in the community. So they were like, we're not going to have church. But I remember, because I'm pretty sure that Monday was whenever they were like, if anyone wants to come charge your devices or anything like that.
Yeah.
Because I remember that Monday is whenever we had a friend who lives really close to where our church is. So she had gotten power back, and she was very kind and was like, hey, if you need a hot shower, like, come over, take a hot shower, like, clean yourself up, have some coffee. I was like, oh my gosh, yes, please.
Yeah, she did that while I was at work, and I was like, really?
Yeah, I went and got coffee without him, sorry. But like I went and got coffee. I charged up our Switch so we could play some games. Yeah, it was really kind. It was nice. But yeah, I think that Monday or Tuesday they opened up the church, anyone who wanted to come in and like charge your devices, anything like that. And then a few people who were like, we were like, oh, we'll come, that kind of thing. And then it kind of snowballed into like, well, do we want to cook any food or anything like that? So we ended up taking over the stuff that we had. Like, we had some like spaghetti noodles and some spaghetti sauce. So we ended up taking that over to the church. And so we ended up making like a big spaghetti meal. And then a whole bunch of people showed up out of nowhere.
Well, because we had that one lady that came in, was like, I could make a post on social media, and
yeah, and it it reached like thousands of people. So we had I want to say close to like 400 to 500 people like come through and get food. Like,
we had like a few people just running to grocery stores to get what they could.
Yeah, like it was absolutely crazy. And that was just the first night. And so then she was like, why are you going to be here tomorrow night? And they were like, well, we'll still be here for anyone that wants to come through and charge their devices. Like, we have power, like you can come through, whatever. And so, we ended up getting stuff to have tacos the next night. And, we went through
everything.
Probably like 25 pounds of beef
easy
for taco meat. Completely ran us out of like lettuce, cheese, tomatoes, sour cream. And that's after, like, in the middle of all of it, people are running to the store and bringing stuff back for us.
At least as much as they could.
Yeah, like, it was just absolutely bonkers. And it was one of those things that it just kind of kept snowballing. And, we ran out of food. And, obviously, like, it kind of sucks to, be serving food and then to run out and not have any more for anybody else. But also just the fact that we were able to feed as many people as we did was also such a huge blessing that we were able to help so much.
Yeah. But also what ended up happening too is like each church around us, as they got power, they would do it too. So it's kind of like it was cycled.
Yeah. Yeah.
So like we would run out, but then another church got power, so they would do it for a little bit. Then they would run out, another church got power.
Yeah. And then eventually what ended up happening is our church became a hub for supplies.
Because we had a gym.
Yeah, because we had a really big gym. So, we just got truckload after truckload after truckload of people from all over, like, bringing trailers full of, like, baby food, diapers, canned foods, water.
Yeah, but also that does remind me of, because I think it was Sunday. One day, me and my mom went out because, of course, previous to the storm, my parents' Tahoe was out of gas.
Yeah.
Or nearing out of gas. They only had like a quarter left. So we went to go put gas in that, but we went to Ingles and there was a line for people in the store. Well, my mom was like, well, I'm in the gas line. If you want to go get in the grocery line, we'll see what we can get. Well, Ingles luckily did it to where they only let in like a certain amount of people at a time, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. So because at that point it was mass chaos.
But also they only had like 2 registers. So only having 2 registers and that many people, not good. So luckily it wasn't that bad. We both was in line for like right at probably hour and a half to get food and gas, divide and conquer. So that was fun. But it was also funny because like they had lines going for one way and lines going a different way for depending on which side of the tank you had. Well, there was one stall in the gas station for whatever reason that no one was going to. And I brought the groceries out, put them in the car because my mom was like almost right at the pump. There was like 3 cars left. And we asked him, was like, is there no one using that stall? She was like, no, I don't know why. She was like, but it works. So my mom was like, cool. Went the Tahoe around and it reversed into the stall. Mm-hmm. And then we reversed all the way back out too. But so yeah, that gas station run was fun. Yeah. But also they kept the gas at like $50 per car, which is a good thing. But also it was like everyone that has like the big diesel trucks and the 20 gas cans they're trying to fill up. And they're like, what am I supposed to do with $50? It's like, ration it, I guess.
Yeah.
Come back tomorrow.
Well, that's like I had gone the next day to get gas. And I remember there was a man.
Yes, Tina's still sick, so it's fine.
Sorry. But I'd gone the next day to get gas. And there was a man who was like upset. He had like 3 gas cans and a big old truck. And he was like, $50 won't even fill up my truck all the way. And he was like, can I like get gas twice? And the lady was like, yeah, if you get back in line. And he was like, and wait another 2 hours. He was so mad. It was kind of funny.
Like, there are other people in the world that exist other than you.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
It was, no, the whole gas thing. And that's the thing, is that the whole gas thing was really just people freaking out. And I mean, like, it was so bad that there were actual shots fired at one of our local gas stations over getting gas. Like, it was bonkers.
Yeah. But in hindsight of it, it could have always been worse. But what have we done to prepare for the next time? Because I no longer trust anything.
Yeah, Elijah definitely went doomsday prepper mode on this.
Well, I'm still working on some stuff. We still need a med kit.
Yep.
But anyway, so now I officially have a generator. I think I have 5,300 watts. And it's like 6,000 starting. So it can run majority of the house technically, as long as I cut off the stove and the hot water heater, and we ration our power. I can run most of the house aside from the air conditioner. So we're good on that front. I now have a chainsaw. So
the chainsaw's really fun, by the way.
Yeah, this woman tried to use the chainsaw and was doing it in Crocs. I'm trying to be safe over here, had the helmet and everything and the chaps. Not her. Which also is the reason I limited your chainsaw usage.
Yeah.
So, but I got a chainsaw now, so we're good on that front. And then winter hit, and I now have a propane heater. So if we ever lose power in the dead of winter, we have something. So we're good there. So I think we're pretty well covered. And I got like 10 gallons of gas that I can rotate through. Because typically, basically the oldest can, you can just dump it in the car and then go get new gas every 3 to 6 months. Well, typically like every 6 months. So that shouldn't be that bad. But luckily, haven't had to use the generator since I bought it. So it's okay. We're doing good. But I also looked at some updates from Asheville. And Asheville's still very much in shambles.
Very much.
Some of their Main Street stuff has power. It is kind of cleaned up a little bit, but not very much. Because with the previous administration, they was having trouble even getting funds to like do anything really.
Yeah.
Because when you have that much damage, this stuff costs a whole lot of money.
Yeah.
So we have a new president now. So Trump has actually put an executive order out to fast track funds for the Asheville projects to try to get them back up on their feet. Because, dear God, everyone's still like, there's even been reports of like, especially with the cold snap, because I don't know what happened. A polar vortex decided to fart our way and throw a bunch of cold wind. So,
Yeah.
and Asheville being higher
like,
up than us, it was bad.
Yeah, because it's like, so like we just got out of the hurricane, and then all of those people are like displaced out of their homes, very much still in shambles, like
Yeah.
the whole city.
Also, keep in mind, I think it was probably in December or something like that FEMA pulled all of their shelters.
Yeah.
So it's like the dead of winter, FEMA pulls their shelters. It's like they have whatever tents they could buy, if they could even have anything at all. So, and most of them lost their homes, landslides, like nothing.
Yeah.
So it's still really, really bad, but Trump's trying to get them funds to work on stuff. So,
Well, and I was going to say, like, we just got out of that cold snap, and now there's a wildfire.
in California, yeah.
No, in Asheville.
Well, no, that was up in
Old Fort.
that was farther up.
In McDowell County.
Yeah, so it's a little farther up.
No, that's between us and Asheville.
Oh, is it? Yeah, so they're getting it from all ends, and even in during the cold snaps, there was reports of a few babies actually dying from the cold because they didn't have adequate heat, and they're in freaking tents, and it's 10 degrees, if that. Sometimes it's 0.
Yeah, it's
With
still
wind chill?
really bad. And like, yes, like our West Coast is also like burning on fire, and they need help too. But please don't forget about our
Little corner of the woods.
little corner of the woods.
Because we are they are not okay, not at all. It's pretty rough, and I'm still very grateful for what we've got, and that we're okay. I'm just like, God, they literally can't get a break.
But all things considered, we made it through it. We learned a lot from it. We're better prepared.
See, when you get married to, make sure you're prepared to just suddenly turn Amish and have no power and can survive with like that. Because I'm sure there's other people, their marriages got tested that day.
Yeah. Honestly, like, you know, marriage life hack, just turn all the power, like, just turn all your lights off, light a couple candles, sit there and stare at each other with no phones.
See what happens.
You'll figure out real quick if you like the person you're married to.
Which honestly, to be fair, if you don't want to hang out with each other on a random Tuesday, even if it means nothing else other than just hanging out and you're not friends, you probably shouldn't be married. So,
unless you married for money, then take the money and run.
I did not marry for money. We did not have that option. Because neither one of us had money. Both of us just had debt.
Yup.
So, anyway, so yeah, Asheville's not okay. The storm was interesting. Life got real intense there for a little bit. But we made it through, and we persevered. And, yeah, in the grand scheme, we're doing pretty good. But I'm prepared for next time because I no longer trust weather services. I barely trusted people to begin with. Now I trust them even less. That's
prepared
terrible.
For everything.
I mean, kind of got to at this point. Ain't no one coming to save you. Because that's one thing. Because even sidetrack, there was even people posting about like the people that were like way back in the woods. They said at the main road there was some trees down, and they was working on trying to clear that out so they could even just get out of the property onto the main road.
Yeah.
And people in trucks were just driving by like nothing was wrong. I'm like, if you got a chain in the back of that truck, just hook it to the daggum tree and pull it out. Because like the family I was looking at didn't have a truck. They didn't have heavy equipment no one cared. So everyone just be prepared for yourself, because unless you have really, really good friends, you're just in trouble.
Yeah.
Which I actually did use my chainsaw though to help my neighbor, because, well, it was mutual, because I cut up his tree that fell, so that was good, and then we split it for firewood.
Yep.
Which when I say split it, I mean I got some, he got some.
Mm-hmm.
So we got wood for our fire pits, because we do not heat with wood as of right now. We will later. If we heated with wood, this would have been a gold mine.
Yeah.
Like, we would have been out every weekend just collecting trees.
Oh yeah.
It would have been great. You're like, free wood.
We would have become loggers for sure.
Just suddenly you just see tractors and trailers everywhere. Just, where are you going? My house. But anything you'd like to add? Any final comments, snot, or remarks?
I apologize for all the cuts you're probably going to get in this video because I was coughing every 25 seconds.
Cue another cough.
Yep, I'm about to. Yep.
There it is. All right. We'll catch you guys in the next episode.
Bye.